Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Whistle. My name's Eric, I'm a level 5 referee here in England, and I take you in the day in the life of what it's like to be a referee. Today, we are refereeing Bishop's Cleeve Development versus Thornbury Town. Now, this is interesting because Thornbury Town play in the Hellenic Premier Division. To referee this level, you typically need to be a level 4 referee. I am a level 5. However, this is pre-season and you're able to referee one level above what you usually would. So it's a great opportunity. This will be the first time I've ever refereed a team at this level. And so I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a hot one though. It's 32 degrees here in England, which is about 90 in Fahrenheit. So very warm, looking forward to it. I'll see you guys at the ground. Both teams have grey shorts and grey socks. Not ideal, but it's pre-season. I'm not really that fussed. This is the second time I've done Cleeve Development. As you can see, again, yeah, lovely setup, really nice. So big shout out to Cleeve, who play in the Gloucestershire, what am I talking about? Who play in the Southern League, South Central, I think. They lost in the playoffs this year to Malvern, so I'm sure they'll be looking to get promoted to the Southern Prem this year. I played for Cleeve Reserves when I was 16 in the Gloucestershire County League, which I'll be refereeing in this year. So yeah, really nice to be back. And be involved. So last week, obviously, we had the incident with the stamp on the back. So I think for me, I'll be highlighting the fact that this is treated like any other game. Obviously, if you guys want to be relaxed and play relaxed, we can have it, but any actions like that are still gonna have to be nipped in the bud. But yeah, really looking forward to this. First time I've ever refereed this level, so a Hellenic Prem team. I've played in the Southern League and the Hellenic Prem, but never refereed it. So we'll see how that is. My experience is anything to go by. Probably going to be a bit more difficult, but we'll see. This week we've got the Fox 40 Sonic Blast. I don't know if that's, yeah, there you go. Fox 40 Sonic Blast with the RefSix lanyard. I love the RefSix lanyard. It's top tier. Very comfortable, and then you just put it on, it dangles like that, and you can easily get it into your hand whilst you're running around. So thank you RefSix for the lanyard, and yeah, this is the Fox 40 Sonic Blast. I'll leave a link for this in the description below. So time to review the game. This was an interesting match. Bishop's Cleeve Development are in the Gloucestershire County League, so they are 2 divisions below Thornbury. Cleeve actually came out the 3-0 winners, and it was an interesting game. There wasn't really much to give. It was very much your typical pre-season football match. We gave 1 caution for a foul in the middle of the park. We gave a penalty as well, but in terms of discipline stuff, there wasn't much to it. So we'll dive in. This will be more around positioning, but there are some key decisions as well, which we'll run through. Before we do, we'll take a look at my RefSix stats. So as you guys know, we've partnered with RefSix on this channel. They're our watch sponsor. And so let's take a look at some stats that have come with the game. So you can look at this either on your phone or on your computer. I'm gonna look at it on my computer today, but you can check this out through the app on the phone as well. I ran a total of 11.2 kilometers. You'll see that this game had 4 quarters. So we did 4 quarters of 22 minutes. So 88 minutes, whatever. And so yeah, I ran a total of 11.2 kilometers. I'm not sure if this is standard, if this is a lot, if this is less. I typically average around 10 and a half for a game. But in this game I did 11.2 because the week before I was not in the right positions a lot of the time. So I wanted to make sure I worked harder. Let me know how much do you guys usually run on an average game? Do you guys use RefSix, track your distance? If so, how much do you run? And then we have a heat map. So this will basically explain how much you were in a certain area of the pitch. So red meaning you were there quite a lot, blue means you were hardly ever there. So naturally, we'll see this red portion more in the middle of the pitch. However, we don't want it to be in the center circle too much, which is a habit that I've had so far this preseason. And then you can break this down by quarters. So first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So you'll see in that third quarter, I was very much trying to stay out of the center circle a bit more as, yeah, I noticed in the first half I was very central, so I wanted to make sure I got wider. It will then show your misconduct. I gave 1 card in the 36th minute and you'll see that there. And then we'll be able to see a sprint map and heart rate and then distance covered. So again, with the sprints, This will be split into low sprints, medium, and then high. I'm not sure what speeds constitute a high sprint, so I'll have to have a look at that, or I'll ask John and Hassan. You'll see I had lots of medium sprints. Again, I don't know if this is normal or if usually you'll see less or more than this. But these are my sprints. And what I was really happy with, again, it's hard to see because there's so many, but you'll notice a lot of these like curved runs into the edge of the box, like these wider areas where the assistants wouldn't be. And that's something I've really been working on, okay, getting wide into this edge of the box area where I don't have assistance. And so yeah, really happy to see some of them, which is great. But yeah, super interesting. I love it. Like I said, link in the description below for 20% off of RefSix Pro. Would absolutely recommend. I've only used it for 2 games now and it's been absolutely brilliant. Absolutely love it. So about 5 minutes into the game, we get this free kick, and I won't talk too much about the foul. It's pretty standard. He goes to tackle him, misses him, just catches him like in the upper area of his face with his arm or his shoulder. And then this free kick comes in. Now, set pieces, I'm finding difficult to get almost like the right angle on what's going on. So from these free kicks in this wide position here, I've tended to adopt a place kind of just outside this D. So kind of on that left-hand side. And if it's on the other side, I'd be kind of on the opposite side, so around here. If anyone has got any resources to show where is best stood depending on the location of the ball from set pieces, I would absolutely love to read it because I feel a little bit lost. It's not to say I don't have a good angle on what's going on, because I do. I just feel like when things are set up slightly differently, I don't feel very dynamic in where I can be. And so I just want to make sure I'm not missing out on anything that is glaringly obvious. So if anyone's got any resources, please drop them in the description below or send them to me on socials. Yeah, I would absolutely love the help. You'll basically see as that ball comes in, I'm trying to be dynamic. I'm trying to make sure I'm not stood still and that I'm moving to make sure that I can continuously get a good angle as play changes in front of me. We're in a good spot on the edge of the box to give a corner, and so that's what we do. So just like last week, we've got a problem with my positioning in terms of where I am when I'm counting down for the goalkeeper. So you'll see I've got eyes on the goalkeeper, my hand now goes up, but I'm so focused on watching the goalkeeper that as he kicks it, again, I'm only in between the edge of the box and the halfway line. Again, I should be up here close to off screen, as it's very clear to me that he's going to punt the ball long. Obviously, this isn't the best of kicks. It's a slight miss kick, so I get away with it. But 9 times out of 10, that ball's going to fly way over me and going to be landing over in this area here. And if I'm back here, I'm going to be way too far away. So I give this foul in front of the benches. These types of tackles are so difficult because the expectation of what's a fair tackle and what's not is so skewed with these types of tackles. So you'll see the lad slides in and he wins the ball. However, as he wins the ball, his foot rolls all the way over the top of the ball. Now, he doesn't make any contact with the player as his foot's going over, and there's not a ton of force in the tackle, as you can see. But you'll see as he slides in, yeah, he wins the ball, foot goes over the top. But you'll see there's actually not much shout from players and everyone kind of gets on with it. No one's like, ah, ref, that's terrible. But coming over the top of the ball like that is dangerous, really dangerous. This is the second time I've blown my whistle for a foul. The first time I've blown the whistle for Thornbury, and the temperature of the game is absolutely fine. I thought about it for what, half a second, and I came to the conclusion actually this is a foul. This is borderline reckless tackle. So that's why I gave the foul. Why didn't I show a yellow card if I thought it was reckless? Well, there didn't seem to be much expectation from anybody that it was a yellow card, and the temperature of the game was 0. So we gave a free kick, just tell him to be careful. Those types of tackles can creep into something a bit more dangerous, and so we just kind of nipped that in the bud early in the game. Shortly after, we then give this handball in the middle of the field. You'll see the lad controls it with his arm. Again, with handball, there are only 2 things that matter in law. 1, is it deliberate? And 2, does it make their body unnaturally bigger? For me, this is both. I think he moved his arm towards the ball, and obviously his arm is away from his body. So simple handball to give for me. We then get this foul, and again, it's very close for me. Lad slides in, brings him down as he's breaking forward. Again, this isn't a reckless tackle for me. There's not much force in it. Is it stopping a promising attack? Well, no, not for me. It's like, you know, 3v5, whatever it is. Let's have a look when the tackle happens. 1, 2, 3. No, okay, no, so I'm wrong. So it's like a 3v3 if it gets through. Obviously, he's already played the pass, and that pass was not going to fall to a Bishop's Cleeve player anyway. So for me, it's not stopping a promising attack. It's not quite reckless. And so we just give a free kick and have a word with the player that's committed the foul. Following that, we get a penalty decision. So for me, this was really clear. And being a former goalkeeper, in this situation, you know exactly what's going to happen. The keeper's going to go down to try and win the ball. The lad's going to just knock it round him. And then we're going to have to make a decision on whether there's contact or not. That's exactly what happens. The number 9 goes through, takes a little touch out wide. The keeper, for me, doesn't make any contact with the ball, and so it's a simple penalty for me to give. How am I positioned? So, at the point of contact, I'm probably a little bit straight on. If the lad's touch would have been better, he would have driven in towards goal, right? He would have gone in towards goal to make the goal bigger for himself so he could, you know, score. So, but as that touch comes in, he's actually got to play it out wide. So from here, I know that he's going to take his touch around the goalkeeper. It's very unlikely that he's going to shoot, and the lad didn't look up once, so it's unlikely that he's going to square it. What I mean by square it is pass it across goal. So as that ball comes in, as that touch comes in, I'm a little bit far away and I've got this body potentially blocking me off. I don't from where I am, but it would have been a risk. So I think being in around here will have been better, and I would have likely had a better angle on what I was seeing. Thankfully, it is still crystal clear for me from where I was. It was still a penalty. And obviously, as you move up the levels, you'll have assistant referees that will help you out here, but we don't want to rely on that. Ultimately, the decision lands on me as the referee, and so I need to make sure I'm in the best possible position. So yeah, 100% moving around into this area will have been better for me, and I would have had a better angle. However, thankfully, the right decision was still made. Cleeve then convert and go 1-0 up. So here we get our one and only yellow card of the game. So the lad slides in, it's a foul, you'll hear a big advantage, and then you'll hear me say, that's a yellow when we come back, okay. So immediately, I'm making a decision, okay, is that a careless tackle? Is that a reckless tackle? Is that serious foul play? For me, this is just a reckless tackle, so it warrants a yellow card. But because I played advantage, well, because I believe Cleeve have a potential advantage, I don't need to stop play. But I can issue the yellow card when this phase of play ends, or when the ball next goes out. So I play advantage, and I tell the player that's a yellow when we come back. I'm doing that, 1, so everybody knows around me. 2, so I remember, more importantly. And if for whatever reason I forget, the players are going to tell me, hey ref, you said that was going to be a yellow, right? So I say it out loud to make sure the player knows, I remember, and the players around me know as well. Shortly after I say that, you'll actually hear the lad almost like groaning in pain. And so yes, I played the advantage, but it's pre-season. I can hear the lad behind me visibly, audibly in pain. And so I just stop play and bring it back straight away because he's injured. We show a yellow card, and then we allow the lad to get treatment. This was actually an orange card. You'll see from the tackle, the contact is almost like on the ankle area, which causes the lad his ankle to buckle. I've seen tackles like this at a higher level, you know, I'm talking like the Premier League and stuff, which are given as reds. You know, causing the ankle to buckle is almost regarded as serious foul play. For me, in real time, it was just a yellow card, and nobody on the pitch expected a red. And again, the force isn't great. It's just unfortunate the way they've landed. So the lad goes off after receiving treatment. Typically, a player shouldn't receive treatment on the field of play. However, he was in quite a bit of pain. It's a pre-season friendly. Just let the lad get treated, and then we can crack on with the game afterwards. Obviously, I've stopped the game whilst the ball's in play, so how do we restart? Correct, drop ball. So, drop ball rule has actually changed this year as well. So previously, you used to have to drop the ball to the team that last had possession, so whoever last touched it. However, now you can drop the ball to where you believe the ball was going to end up. So if it was clear that the other team were going to gain possession, you can give a drop ball to them. That obviously wasn't the case with us. Cleeve had possession out on the right wing, so we just drop it and we play from there. We get another corner to Thornbury, and this is where it's so important to constantly be switched on. I found myself so many times getting caught out in situations like this. So you'll see that Thornbury have got a corner, and I'm lining up in my typical spot, telling the players to be sensible with the hands, etc., etc. And I'm walking in to get an angle on in behind what's happening. However, I then hear the number 7 screaming for the ball. So I turn, I notice he actually is going to play it short, and so we have to break into this area just in case there's a tackle that happens between the players here. Obviously, if I was still caught over here as that ball comes in and something happens, I'm in a terrible position to see anything. And so always be switched on for the short corners. Cleeve have a throw in the Thornbury final third, and I miss a push in the back. So the ball goes out for a throw and I don't give it. Why have I missed this? Well, simply put, I'm too straight on to what's happening. When challenges are going in, you absolutely need to be at an angle to what's happening so you can see between the two players. You know, if you were stood here or where I am, anywhere down this line, it's impossible for you to tell that the lad has pushed his arms out, right? If I stand up and I turn around and I push, you can't really see what's going on. However, if I'm even stood at the slightest angle, you've got a side-on view, you can see everything I'm doing. So this angle of where I'm stood is not good. It's not a good place to be. And so for me, it looks like the lad's just gone in as the other lad's trying to shield the ball, and then he's gone down easy because he's given the ball away. As we can see from the camera, it's a very clear push in the back and it should have been a foul. But because I'm too straight on, I haven't seen it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is half time. Also, big news. This was happening just before I started recording, actually. We've been appointed to our first ever FA Cup fixture. Hopefully Nick's got some like confetti in the FA Cups here and all that sort of stuff. FA Cup, if you guys don't know what that is, the Americans, Canadians, the Aussies, all you guys that watch it aren't from the UK, the FA Cup is, in my opinion, the greatest competition in football. It's where amateur teams can enter a cup competition and theoretically play against Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, all the big teams. Well, Spurs a big team. I don't know if I have to leave that out. Leave that out. It's where amateur clubs can win their way to massive games against the likes of Liverpool, Man United, Man City, these massive names within English football. Last year, Tamworth, who play in the National League, ended up drawing Spurs at home. Years ago, a pub team called Havant and Waterlooville managed to play a match at Anfield. So the FA Cup is special, and somehow I've been selected to be an assistant referee. So I will actually be on the line for Thornbury, who I'm refereeing here, against Virginia Water, who are just outside of London, I believe. I've actually played in the competition 3 times, and I've lost 3 times. And one time I even got sent off, and my mate Ian had to go in goal for the penalty shootout. So I've not covered myself in glory when I've been playing in it, but I'm hoping this time there'll be more positive of an outcome. So yeah, super grateful to the Gloucester FA, to you guys, to Nick, you know, everybody that's helped me with the refereeing journey so far. So it's a massive honour to get that competition. Very early on into the second half, we get a penalty shout, a weak one, but a penalty shout. For me, this is just a coming together. It's not a foul. It's just coming together, and he's gone down a little bit theatrically. However, I haven't given it for simulation because there is contact, but not enough for me. Then have a very close goal line decision. Now, obviously in the Prem, you've got goal line technology. It's very straightforward. At this level, you've got your eyes and you've got the assistant's eyes, and that is it. And it happens very fast. So Thornbury go on the attack, and there's questions on whether the ball crosses the line. Let's take a look. So first things first, when you've got club assistants, never in a bazillion years is a club assistant going to raise their flag and give that against their own team. So you've really got to be watching yourself to make a decision. Thankfully, you'll see that as the ball bounces, when you play on AstroTurf, the rubber crumb raises when the ball bounces. So that's actually a massive help in this situation, which is exactly how I made the decision that it wasn't a goal. you'll see that the rubber crumb comes up in front of the goal line, and so it's very simple for me to know. However, when the ball is landing in a quick split, you can see how it would look like that behind the line. However, we can see that where it actually hits the ground is not. So your eyes can play tricks on you, for sure. So this is the way I knew, is where the rubber crumb comes up. It's not across the goal line. But yeah, you've got to be so on it, because anything can happen. So we have to give a corner for the old 8-second rule. Oh, feels crap, but you got to do it. This was the first time I actually had to give it. And yeah, it feels doesn't feel great, but it is what it is. That's the rules, so I'll get used to it. You'll see that the keeper picks the ball up, and then we count down from 8 to 5 in our head, and then we count down from 5 in the air. And it's been, yeah, plenty. When this happens, we give a corner on the side that the goalkeeper is on. Cleeve then shortly after this go 2-0 up. And then very quickly after that, they make it 3-0. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is full time. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next week.